Fall has arrived, and with it, a new batch of allergens that we need to deal with. Here to give us his expert knowledge, as always, is Dr. John Vias. He's allergist with St. David's North Austin Medical Center. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Hey, good afternoon, y'all.
So, what are some of the most common fall allergens in Central Texas, and when do they typically peak?
Yeah, so as we're moving into the summer from the summer season into the fall season, I mean, right now it's too hot. There's a lot of when the temperatures are really high, there's not a whole lot of pollination that goes on. But here in the coming weeks, we're going to start seeing ragweed. So ragweed is a big fall allergen. We're seeing some levels of it already. And it usually spikes by probably the first week or two of October, and then it starts coming down. Answering your question, fall allergens are primarily the weeds, which is ragweed. And we also have a few weeks of something called fall elm, which actually is pollinated just recently here.
So, are there certain times of the days when pollen counts are higher, and should people plan their outdoor activities around those time periods or away from those time periods, essentially?
Yeah, pollination tends to be highest in the early morning hours, but it can be present throughout the day, and it really depends on also your exposure. So, you can have a little bit of allergy, but if you're outside all day, you're going to feel it. So you just have to be mindful of the time that you spend outside and be prepared for it in the sense that you take your allergy medicines before you head outside. You check your weather report to make sure to see what the levels are showing, and just be better prepared for the time that you're spending outside.
So obviously, we're getting closer and closer to seeing a lot more cold fronts come through. We are expecting a La Nina, which could make it a warmer winter. Will cold fronts or the warmer weather affect some of the counts that we see as we go into the winter, fall and winter?
Well, keep in mind that pollination or the act of pollination is reliant on wind. That pollen stays suspended in the air. These pollens are designed to thrive whenever it gets windy. And so yes, cold fronts really do kind of shake the trees. They shake the plants. They release all that pollen, and so it stays suspended. So I do have some patients that seem to be worse when the cold fronts come through, especially the first few days after a cold front comes through.
So, are there any new treatments or newer treatments or any over-the-counter options people may not have on their radars yet that could help them out?
Well, unfortunately, there's been the same ones. So unfortunately, there's not anything really new out there for the management of allergy. But we always stress the being aware that the season is coming. Number one. Number two is to start allergy medicines early. So, for example, for ragweed season, if you haven't started your nasal spray and your oral antihistamine, now is the time to do it. I always advocate for starting it at least a week or two before the season really hits, and then you continue it for that season. And then you do the avoidance measures, changing your sheets once a week, you wash them in hot water, shower at night, don't let the dog on the bed, that kind of stuff. That's usually helpful in mitigating some of the symptoms. But really, it's starting early.
Of course, Dr. Viasis, thank you so much for joining us and talking to us about it, and we'll talk soon.
No problem. Thank you.